Hey, what the hell's going on, you guys? It is Player NegativeAE, and welcome back to another episode of When They Cry. Last episode, I asked you guys if you wanted the Japanese voice acting patch implemented into the game, and a lot of you said yes, so I went ahead and did that about an hour ago. We should be all set to hear some voices today. I speak from experience with Steins Gate, because Steins Gate had voice acting in it, and I used to just read over that. So I think for this one, I'm just going to let the voice actors kind of carry the conversation. It always felt weird to me whenever I was reading over the Japanese voice acting lines, because they say things differently, and sometimes you can catch different things from the voice acting that you couldn't catch in my voice. So I'm just going to let them read their lines. I am going to click past the dialogue when I am done reading it, which may prove to be either a good thing or a bad thing. Maybe I read too fast, maybe I read too slow, but we'll figure it out within episodes to come. So if by episode 4 or 5 we still don't have it down and we don't like the voice acting patch, we can go ahead and take it out. But that's enough explaining for now. Let's go ahead and get into this tip, and then we'll get back into the story after we're done. I'm curious, who is Mion's uncle? I have no clue. They mentioned him in the last game too, so I don't know. Mion put her hands together in an apology and grinned. I like that the voice acting is kind of segmented based on the clicks. The club locker was the trans-dimensional space from which Mion pulled games whenever we met for club activities. I wondered how so many freaking games could be stored in the locker. It was even smaller than the one with the cleaning supplies in it. Besides those games, it was also a cornucopia of suspicious objects. Costumes? For punishment games. If we lined them all up on the floor in order to sort them, they would definitely fill the entire classroom. Mion gave a hearty laugh, implying that only the one who could do so was the club president. Mion said, feeling about in her pocket. Judging by her expression, she must have planned on returning it, but it was still in her pocket. Satoko sounds exactly like how I think she sounds. Sometimes the voice acting goes off my click and I have to figure out when to click, you know? Giggling Satoko and Rika-chan clapped their hands together in celebration. Mion elbowed Satoko and Rika-chan in their heads, then headed for the teacher's lounge. The two of them made disappointed faces. Whatever anyone said, Mion's club was always the #1 thing I looked forward to when going to school. It wasn't hard to agree with their melancholic expressions after hearing it wouldn't be happening today. Whenever Mion canceled club, it was usually because of her job. However, it also didn't seem like she went there every day. She would go 2-3 days in a row, then not go at all for a while. Sounded like a pretty random part-time job. Mion wearing socks and a helmet, sweating to death in a factory. couldn't imagine such a thing. She has a lot of uncles who run their own shops. She has a lot of uncles who run their own shop. Oh, wow. That's exactly my question. That was exactly my reread of the freaking thing. A lot of them. Huh. That's amazing. I was dumbfounded that was amazing, because it is amazing. And a brothel? Okay, a couple of weird things came up that time, but still. A loan shark, land shark, a strip club, and a brothel. I could tell it was pretty expensive. One second, please. Once I completely heard her, she gave me to go shopping. She threatened me, saying, Rika-chan being sold into the entertainment industry to pay off her debts. Oh crap, my nosebleed. Dying by being thrown out on the ground must be the silliest form of death I've ever heard of. Alright, so real quick before we continue, some voice lines, I guess, because of the readme says copyright issues, some voice lines are not there, so anytime I don't hear a voice line for a quote, I'll just go ahead and read it. Yes. Dying by being thrown on the ground is the silliest form of death I've ever heard of. Huh? She really doesn't get it, does she? Recently, she seems so unspoiled. Rika-chan and I gave her a pat on the head. Satoko was lost in confusion, but she seemed to understand she was being made fun of. I like Satoko. Satoko is probably my favorite character so far. So far, Satoko is my favorite character. Alright, let's continue on. Mian spoke in a voice that went so far as to make whoever heard it lethargic. It was almost 3 o'clock. 6th period was almost over. By the way, Satoko and everyone else in the lower grades ended their school day after 5th period, so they were probably running around in the schoolyard right now. I could hear their joy-filled voices coming from there right now. Oh, what I would give to be able to join them. The boxing club gets to sleep a lot? Yeah, that's my question. Oh, I hate you so much. The teacher cackled as she hit the back of Mian's head with the corner of the textbook. Mion, who had been half asleep, became lively again the moment she heard class was over. It must be delightful to be that shrewd. Homeroom was done after the lower grades had finished their lessons, so we were free to go. It was one of the odd rules we had at a mixed grade school. When they knew class was over, Satoko and Rika-chan returned to the classroom. We might have to turn down the music a little bit, because music's a little loud for this. Who knows? In fact, I think I'm going to do that right now. Mid-episode. Get ready for tuba fiddles with things. We're going to go ahead and turn that down. I don't know if sound volume does what I think it does. I think that's a lot better. Let me know in the comments if you liked it the way it was or if you like it this way. With a saccharine Keiichi brand smile, I ruffled Rena's hair roughly. Rena turned bright red and short-circuited, smoke billowing from both her ears. Gazing into her eyes, a strange scene of me holding hands with Rena and skipping through a flower bed was reflected there. What? Even if it was in someone else's imagination, it was terribly troubling. When Rika-chan said that, everyone burst out laughing at once. That Rena is a Satoko and Rika-chan killer, though. Mion leered with the gaze befitting of a club president. No, befitting of an empress. The mood in the room became more lively. Alright, real quick. Is that foreshadowing? I don't know. Does Rena kill Satoko and Rika, and then I have to kill Rena, but Mion's like all powerful? Oh my goodness. The mood in the room became more lively. It was as good as any moment to get started. Mion let us out a small interjection as she rummaged through the so-called club locker. Every time I look, there's always a ton of things crammed in there. Everything that's jammed in that locker is a game of some kind, you know? On top of that, things used for penalty games like cat ears and collars were kept in there. The capacity of that thing is unfathomable. Unfathomable. That locker, maybe it actually extended all the way... Wait, maybe it actually extended through the wall into the fourth dimension. That's my theory anyways. If not that, then how else could you explain someone could pull out an item after item? After Mion touched her hand to her chin briefly in thought, she turned around without pulling out any games. Why don't we try and keep it a bit simple today? Playing games that require... I'm still in old mode. Playing games that can be a little bland, right? Brennan and I both expressed our agreement. I felt the same way. With this group, there's no doubt that even if we were pulling weeds from the school grounds, it would be fun. See, I don't believe this at all. I don't believe this at all. I've always been told that, but ever since I transferred, it seems like it's been especially bad. They just read your mind. Satoko's a demon, because she just read my mind. I thought Satoko was safe because of the way that she had been acting before, but like at this point, like she just read my mind, so. I need to develop a poker face, it would be a rough time. Okay. Sure. Yep. We immediately cut the idle chatter and put on stern expressions. In no time at all, everybody's gaze looked like a tiger or shark listening intently. That's right. From the point where the rules are explained, the match has already begun. No, I have not. Sympathy. Means to share someone's feelings, right? Maybe I might know this. Jesus, that sounds real hard. In that case, I knows better. I recall playing a game like that in grade school while we were on the bus during a field trip. That sounds real hard. Two people coming up with the same exact answer? This game sounds like it would be impossible. The trick is to think that it's exactly as Rika-chan said. The point of this game was to think in a way so that you have to have the same answer as everybody else. For example, even if you heard the words dessert and immediately thought of strawberry sundae, if your answer doesn't match up with everybody else, you don't get any points. That's why you have to hold off on that answer and change to one that seems like everyone else will choose. The key becomes not what you think yourself, but being able to predict what everybody else will answer. It's a very high level intellectual game. So you don't just write down the first thing that comes to mind. You try. I get it. I understand. I still feel like it would be hard. Like, it depends on the subject. Like, dessert, maybe like cake would be like the I don't know though. Taking out her literature textbook, she began flipping to a random page. Shaved ice. Oh. Among the standard flavors of shaved ice, there's strawberry, melon, and blue Hawaii. The most popular amongst those is obviously melon. Everyone write down an answer? Okay. Didn't I just say melon? Oh, I said melon. Okay. That's me. I understand.
お前らイチゴなんてスタンダードなつまんねえの選ぶなよ。おいレナ、かき氷でイチゴなんか頼むかよ。夏祭りで一番早く売り切れるのはメロンって決まってるんだぜ。レナもメロン味は好きだよ。でもやっぱりイチゴ味だよね。よね。
ケイちゃん、確かに私も選ぶならメロンにするよ。だけどね、これは連想ゲームだよ。かき氷って言ったらまず人はイチゴでしょ。
Still not entirely convinced, but in any case, it's this type of game. No, I understand.
リカルは何て書いてありますの？それ、かき氷ですの？宇治金時です。たまらない美味しさなのですよ。
No one knows what that is. What is it? I wonder. Someone will tell me.
これで大体わかったかな。イチゴって書いた人は仲間が3人いるから3点獲得。この調子で点を競っていくわけ。わかりました。それよりミオさん、今日の罰ゲームは何にしますですか？やっぱりあるんだね。何かな？何にしようかね。ケイちゃん、何か提案ある？
え、罰ゲーム？そうだな。小学校の頃、罰ゲームってのがあったら、やっぱりあれだよな。そう、荷物持ちだ。
つまり負けた人が全員の荷物を持たされて運ぶ。男子がよくやってるね。全身ランドセルだらけにして歩いてる小学生よく見るし。でもどうするの？さとこちゃんとリカちゃんのお家は私たちとは逆方向だよ。じゃあ1位の荷物をビリが家まで運んであげるでいいんじゃない？全員の荷物の宅配だと結構いい距離になっちゃうしね。それくらいならいいかもね。なんだか今日の罰ゲームは簡単で、この程度の罰ゲームではケイチさんにやらせても面白くありませんわ。じゃあもうちょっとレベルアップしようかね。
Wait, what? Excuse me?
ただ
I'd
荷
do
物
that.
運びをするだけじゃなく、じゃーん、これを着て荷物運びをしてもらうというのはどうかな？
なな。
Hmm.
そんなの嫌。でもケイチさんが負けた場合はどうしますの？ケイチさんに着れるサイズがなければ。そこは抜かりないよ。ケイちゃん用にちゃんと XL サイズも用意してあるもんね。さあケイちゃん、覚悟はいい？
I feel like I'm gonna lose this one. Does anybody else get that vibe?
メイドコスさせて外を練り歩かせてあげるよ。カチューシャからそりゃもう何から何まで全部揃ってるんだからね。
I feel like
絶対変だ。なんでそんなものが
I feel like I'm gonna lose this one.
全部ロッカーに入ってるんだよ。
This is bad, Keiichi Maebara. Somehow it has become a situation where only my failure results in an overly cruel price to pay. What if I make a mistake and lose? I wouldn't be able to walk around in broad daylight anymore. Here's the problem, right? Is I lose automatically. If they are all demons, I lose. About that Maebara boy, did you hear about him? Oh, I'm imagining what's going to happen. It seems like he has a penchant for cross-dressing. Oh my, really? That'd be so embarrassing, you know? Oh ho ho ho. In this day and age, I don't know. In 1980 something, maybe. That's just incredibly brutal. if we're to return this penalty to some semblance of normalcy, now is the only time. Everybody, I think we should refrain from this unwholesome penalty game. On the way back home from school, do we have to be accompanied by a girl wearing a maid uniform and carrying our baggage? Having them say master while dragging them around the village. Such an embarrassing outfit. Wait, why am I panting? What is this? This feeling welling up inside me. I agree, Rena. Burning with passion, I firmly placed my hand on Rena's shoulders. I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna lose.
お、ケイちゃん、分かってきたね。どんな罰ゲームでも恐れない。勝てばいいんだから。だよな、みんな。えい、えい。
From Mion to Rika, everybody energetically thrust up their fists up high. Only Rena seems somewhat undecided, standing there looking flustered. She's a little bit slow, isn't she? If she wins, even for Rena, it's quite a delectable opportunity. Rena began spouting a fountain of blood from her nose. The look in her eyes completely changed. She shifted into cute mode. I was waiting for this, Rena. That look in her eyes. So I lost. Alright, let's go. Mion opened up her textbook to a random page and read out a word that caught her eye. This is yet another quite abstract keyword. Well then, let's not worry about it too much and start with something like this. Everybody good? I'm gonna go ahead and say... beach. I'm gonna go ahead and say well, fireworks. Beach or fireworks. Let's say either one of those. On Mion's signal, everybody simultaneously held up what they wrote. What did everybody write? Okay. What? Hey. Mosquito coils? What? Mosquito coil? What is that? What was my answer? Figurating words that invoke the image of summer break. Certainly things that enrich the soul. As everybody approaches the soon-to-come summer break, a plethora of dreams should be etched upon their thoughts. Bathing suits? Did he write down bathing suit? Homework? Keiichi, I will stab you. No one could really follow up that response. Are you trying to lose this game? Rika-chan gently patted my head. What exactly did summer break mean to me? Summer courses. Observing sunflowers. Yeah, but like, even if it's like that for you, Like you have to like know that that you're not the world, right? Like the whole reason I know, I don't know, special summer focus seminars. I know nothing of hot summers because I've always been in an air-conditioned cram school. Tears, they.
ケイちゃんの夏休み灰色だったんだね。
そんな哀れみの目で俺を見るんじゃね
Hey Chan, I'm gonna punch you, dude. This game called Sympathy may be more terrifying than I could ever imagine.
まあとにかく
Well,
私とレナは2点獲得ね。続けていくよ。次は魚。
the first thing that comes to mind is bass, but I'd say goldfish. I'd say goldfish. Or tuna, that's a good one. In tuna, I'm quite the connoisseur on things like flounder. Wonder who will match with this answer. Because for a Japanese person, anyone would think of this.
じゃあいいかみんな
I would say goldfish.
今度は俺から公開するぜ
It's either tuna, bass, or goldfish. Those are my three, but I don't know which one I would choose. Sushi. How about that for an answer? See a lively fish. You want to steam it or grill it? No, to have fresh sashimi is the epitome of cuisine. Rather than write sashimi, however, I'll choose the more amiable term in sushi. That is my cunning ploy. But contrary to the intrepid resolve of my reply, everybody's expression was listless.
そうだよね。お魚ってうん。
Because they can all read my mind, this game is inherently unfair.
寿司は美味しいもんね。
Maybe these games are trying to give me hints on like what they can do. You know?
そんな道場っぽく言うな
じゃあ残る全員も公開するよ。いっせーの。イルカ、クジラ、水族館、
Aquarium? Oh, I would die. Dolphin I can see. Aquarium I would not have put down.
リカと同じ答えですわね。2点獲得ですわ。レナはクジラか。私も考えたんだけどね。イルカにしちゃった。あ、そうだったの？レナは最初イルカって書いたんだけど、誰も書かないかなって思って。どちらもとっても可愛いのですよ。
Everybody excluding me stopped and stared blankly as their thoughts just drifted over the horizon. It seems as if they can hear the roar of the ocean, or roar of the open sea from over there.
これで全員2点
This
獲
means
得ですわね。
except for me.
ケイさん以外。ケイチ君の答え0点だけど、レナはとっても独創的で面白いと思うな。魚と聞いて真っ先に食用に走ると、ケイちゃん、心の貧しさを恥じた方がいいよ。
心が貧しいとか言うなだいたいミオンとレナの答えはなんだよ魚類じゃないぞそれ哺乳類だし
To be fair, my answers suck. So I don't blame my like I need to get in this game, dude. I need to start thinking.
全会一致で却下。これ次の問題いくよ。
What a horrid game this is today. As the games pile on, it seems as if I will be further exposed to a petty human being, or as a petty human being. I'm the only one who still hasn't earned any points. I want to at least get a point in the next round.
さて次のお題目は桜。
Sakura. Damn it, this time I'll do it. I think maybe pink would be what I would put down. Pink or tree. Don't think what you would normally think. Everybody else here is a girl. Stop thinking like a man. If you're repeating the tragedy, yes, don't put that. Throw away that gastrocentric male sensibility. Just for now, think of yourself as a girl. You are a girl. You are a girl. I am a girl.
みんな書けたかな？いくよ。ケイチさん、今度くらい得点できないとやばいではございませんの？
This time it's perfect. I've completely suppressed my own instincts. This time I will have a match. No. I will make a match. Or we'll make it a match.
ケイチくん、今度は自信たっぷりだね。でもね、今度はケイチくんと会うよね。この子のみんな。桜餅。僕も大好きなのです。炊きましたですよ。
What? They're definitely reading my mind though. So it's not my fault.
ではケイチさんは私と同じではございませんこと？お花見ですの？そうだよね。桜って言ったらお花見しかないでしょ。私も書いたよ。
You know, and Satoko's response was Hanami or Hanami. Hanami, seriously, I would not do well.
酒盛りして地帯を晒す親父イベントの定番だろうが。なんで今頃になってあっさり女の子な答えを放棄するんだよ。
じゃあ何、ケイちゃん。あんたどんな女の子の答えを書いたわけよ。
なんでもないよ。次行こう、次。あ。
Before I knew it, Rika-chan had circled behind me and was intently reading the memo I had hidden behind my back. Cardmaster Sakura is written down here. Cardmaster Sakura became dead. What the fuck is that? Hello? I'm mad at you. It would be fine if someone at least laughed at me or played it off as something dumb, but nobody even flinched. Feeling in the pit of my stomach reached critical mass, causing my once blood-drained face to flush with a sudden wave of heat. Sakura can only mean Sakura or Cardmaster Sakura, can't it? It's a super popular anime that broadcasts every week on the government-run networks. It's broken through to every demographic from little girls to grown men. You've seen it, haven't you? No, you've definitely seen it. Even I've seen it.
いや、そんな力説しなくてもよく知ってるよ。なんかコーヒー飲んでもカップにつかないってやつでしょ？うん、知ってる知ってる。
Yep, it's cute, isn't it? Brenda sometimes browses it at the magazine stand to keep up with the story. Saw it for the first time recently. Sakura is cool and so cheerful all the time. I like that girl who's always filming with the camcorder. It's not just popular with little girls, it's also surprisingly well received by older boys, isn't it? I think Kei-chan was one of those. I felt like I had inadvertently blurted out something unnecessary and completely self-destructed, but that wasn't the main problem. So you all know it, don't you? Then why didn't you write it down? Sakura means Sakura Kinomoto. Sakura-tan Pan. Master Sakura is the right answer. Poomph. Mian quietly put her hand on my shoulder.
ケイちゃん、今確信したわ。ケイちゃんは骨の髄まで。親父なんだよ。強制不能なくらい。
なんでみんなそんな同情的な目で見るんだ。
そんなことないよ、ケイチくん。さあ、頑張ろう。ここから大逆転だよ。親父なケイチさんに逆転などありえませんわ。おとなしく今日の罰ゲームをおくらいなさいませ。
What was today's penalty game again?
メイドさん衣装、カチューシャ、ミニソックス付きで1位の人の荷物を運ぶのですよ。
Lots of explosions happen when people
我が部の部員なら
get mad in this game. All right, that's the halfway point, and at 40 minutes exactly, which is about the time that I would like to end these. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm gonna go ahead and save it. Stop it here. Let me know how you felt the voices did. If you like them, if you don't like them. We're gonna continue with these voices for a couple episodes. Maybe even the entire series. There's a lot of cool shit that you wouldn't hear in my voice that you'll hear in the Japanese voice acting. So I'm interested, especially if there's like any scary parts. That's my favorite. Is like when the voice actors get like real into like the whole like murderous intent mode, or when someone gets evil, you know. So that'll be interesting to see. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm thinking that, well, I lost, obviously, right? Because of the screen. I had to have lost. But I'm thinking that that game was a display of kind of the... I think they're reinforcing the idea that they can read minds. I think all of them can read minds. Because I remember finding it weird in the first one that they could just read my thoughts on my face, like with exact detail, right? Like you could read someone's face sometimes, but like not with like, oh, you're thinking about this on this date on this. Oh, no, it's just written on your face, Keiichi-san. Yeah, that doesn't fly with me. That's not a flying thing with me. I'm thinking Mion is probably the leader of them all. I thought it was Rena before. I thought like Rena had like done everything to everybody, and that's what it was. I think Rena's just like the henchman, you know, and Mion is kind of the orchestrator of everything, and because that's why she has uncles uncles in quotes. I don't think they're actually her uncles. I think that she has people in all different places. That's why she's always like, there's nothing this old man can't see, because fucking she has people everywhere. She has fucking, and that's where, and I'm still going back to this, and I still want to relate everything to the beginning games that we played. The game of tag, where I told everybody that I was somewhere else, and I actually wasn't. I was somewhere crazy. But see, I already know how the story ends. That's the problem. Unless this is after the fact and I'm like in some like dream state right now, or this is what happened in between, because there's no evidence that this is a prequel, but I'm just guessing that it is a prequel. And it is a prequel because they talked about the Watanagashi. Well, it might not be. They could just be like, oh, well, you're daydreaming. But I feel like that would be too easy. I feel like that would be something that they would just, oh, you're in a dream. Too bad none of this mattered. But it would be kind of cool for them to pull the whole, wait, I don't remember getting here, you know? Like the whole like wait a second. Oh, okay, this makes sense now. No, but I think this is a prequel, so I know how the story ends, so I'm curious. Dude, I'm curious about this whole thing. I don't know what's like going on. I know that the four of them are demons. That's pretty much, like, if you add up all of my shits that I've talked about throughout this whole thing, it's definitely that the four of them are demons, and that's all I know. That's pretty much the extent of that I know, except for that maybe he's crazy too. But I'm fully on board with the whole demon idea and not on board with the crazy. If they pull out the whole he's crazy thing, I'm gonna be very dumbfounded, I think, because it just doesn't seem like that's a right way to do things here. I don't know. We'll see. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this episode, please hit the like button. It always helps me out. I really appreciate that. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. We're almost at 800. We're in the 790s. We've been almost at 800 for a while. So if you do, or if you haven't subscribed yet, now would be the perfect time. And I hope to see you guys in the next episode. Peace out, you guys.